Right now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning. If you're flying with Delta, you can expect some delays. The airline telling customers all flights are grounded. We'll have the latest details ahead.
Also on WKYT this morning, investigators say they think it was an accident. A boy rushed to the hospital after falling into a pond at Lexington Cemetery. It's not the first time something like this has happened recently.
A popular water park in Kansas City, Kansas, still closed this morning. Investigators say a boy was killed on a water slide. They're still looking into this and how it happened. We'll have more on this story coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. We'll keep you right on top of this Delta Airlines story, a major developing story around the world. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca.
Good to have you with us. Go ahead.
Talking all over you this morning, Bill. The
That's
coffee,
all right.
Still letting that coffee kick in,
Hope
right?
you had a good weekend. You
Getting
did?
the caffeine going. Yeah, you know, it was pretty nice. It was hot, but it got a lot of stuff done on Saturday because I wasn't really planning on a pool day for that day. So at least I got some things done
Well,
this
that's
weekend.
good. Yeah, it was pretty good.
What about you?
Nice weekend. Well, it was Fancy Farm and then back, and then had a good time back here because the weather was pretty cooperative. Nice day yesterday, and I think Micah was out at the park with his family. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, the humidity dropped big time yesterday, and we were in the 50s and 60s for dew points. I mean, you don't get that a lot around here. Unfortunately, it is short-lived. This morning, it feels really nice, but that humidity will start to be on the increase later on this afternoon, off into the next several days. 64 right now in Franklin County. How nice is that? We get into your afternoon, 86 degrees, and that chance of rain is with us, but it's not for everybody. It's mainly for the southeast today, and then the next several days, that's when that moisture from the southeast of us actually travels northbound, and that'll give us chances of rain each and every single day. Are we talking about a flash flooding rain, or are we just talking about just the chance there? We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
Micah, thank you. We begin this half hour with a WKYT breaking news alert. Delta Airlines is reporting now a global outage.
Delta confirms the outage on Twitter. The outage sure to cause delays for millions of travelers, including at the Bluegrass Airport. And that's where we find WKYT's Mike Byer, who's live with details.
Good morning, Rebecca. Delta Airlines is experiencing major technical issues this morning in what the company has described as a computer outage, and that is affected everywhere. Delta Airlines recently tweeted out that their systems are down everywhere, and that after complaints started coming in on Twitter from passengers. Because of this, the company says all of their flights have been grounded. The company has not said what led to the outage, which is causing problems with checking in. This is causing major delays at airports all over the world. So far, we have not seen any delays here at Bluegrass Airport. It remains to be seen if this computer outage will have any effect here. Now, there is a flight at 5:50. Not sure if that flight has been delayed or has been grounded, anything like that. We have been hearing that customers have been checking in manually. So far we have not seen any delays out here at Bluegrass Airport. It remains to be seen if that will be the case throughout the morning. Live here in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, thank you, Mike. What a mess.
A lot to stay on top of this morning. So if you have plans and you're flying Delta, and as you know, when one major airline backs up, it can have effects on others. So stay ahead of the story today.
Well, this morning we were working to get an update on a little boy who fell into a pond at the Lexington Cemetery. Investigators
think the boy and two other kids were there fishing when the accident happened. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Lexington with details on the investigation that's ongoing. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. Police said that boy was rushed here to the hospital last night with life-threatening injuries. This morning we are calling investigators trying to get an update on his condition. Investigators do tell us that they think that 11-year-old boy was at the Lexington Cemetery with two of his friends to go fishing yesterday. They ran for help after officers say that 11-year-old slipped and fell into the pond. His friends found help when they found the groundskeeper at the Cove Haven Cemetery nearby. She called 911 after she cut them loose from fishing line that was wrapped around their legs. By the time firefighters jumped in to save the 11-year-old, he had been in the water for 30 minutes. The groundskeeper tells WKYT that people are cutting through the Cove Haven Cemetery to get into the Lexington Cemetery after it closes. She's begging parents to closely watch their children. Just last weekend, a 29-year-old man drowned in the pond after investigators say he fell into the water. Now, police tell us that they are starting to work with officials at the Lexington Cemetery. They're trying to figure out what they can do to make the area safer. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Lexington police still have not released the identity of a woman found dead outside an apartment complex over the weekend. Officers found the woman's body at Cross Keys Road just after 6 yesterday morning. They have not yet said what or who led them to the body. They do think that she died shortly before they arrived on scene. A mother of 4 who lives in the area says she is concerned for her family's safety.
People come around here and they think they can just take people's lives without having no remorse. You didn't give that person that life. You don't have the right to take it away from them.
Police are calling the death a homicide. The coroner has not yet released the woman's cause of death.
The trial for a man accused of killing his girlfriend back in 2014 begins today in Lexington. Police say Paris Charles killed his girlfriend, Goldia Massey, at his home on Chatsworth Drive in the fall of 2014. They say about 3 weeks after Massey was reported missing, her severed arms and torso were found along the banks of the Kentucky River in Jessamine and Henry counties. Charles is charged with murder and abuse of a corpse. The judge set aside 2 weeks for his trial. And the trial for an accused murderer in Laurel County also begins today. Police say Christopher Bird shot and killed his girlfriend, Shannon Engel, last summer. Bird is charged with murder. Police say he had been arrested on domestic violence charges before.
Another major national story we're following this morning. A popular water park in Kansas City, Kansas is still closed this morning.
Investigators are trying to piece together what led to a very awful accident at the park's main attraction. Brian Webb has the latest.
A day after the tragic death of Caleb Schwab at Kansas City's Schlitterbahn Water Park, officials have yet to determine what happened.
A full investigation's underway. Right now, our focus is on that family.
The 10-year-old was killed on the Verrucht water slide Sunday afternoon. The ride, certified as the world's tallest by the Guinness Book of World Records, features a 168 feet plunge at 65 miles an hour. 264 stairs lead to the top.
Our lifeguards are critical, and it will be very difficult for them to focus after something like this. So for that reason, we felt it was wise to close the park.
Caleb, the son of Kansas state lawmaker Scott Schwab, was at the park with his family at the time. In a statement, the family thanked the community for their support, adding, quote, "Since the day he was born, he brought abundant joy to our family and all those he came in contact with." The Verrucht, which means insane in German, opened back in 2014 following multiple delays. The popular attraction, as well as the entire park, are closed pending the investigation. Brian Webb for CBS News.
Well, according to the park's website, riders of the slide have to be at least 54 inches tall. The combined weight of the 3 ride occupants occupants cannot exceed 550 pounds.
In political news this morning, we are getting closer to the election, and this morning, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is going to be presenting his economic plan for the country. That will be this evening, actually, in Michigan. In the latest polls, Clinton has the edge. A new Washington Post ABC News poll finds that Hillary Clinton has support of 50% of voters compared to Trump's 42%. A CBS News Battleground Tracker poll also shows Clinton ahead of Trump in a couple of key swing states. Trump is hoping he'll make up some ground tonight in Detroit. Clinton will offer up her own vision of the economy on Thursday. She is hoping to move some attention away from her email scandal. Here in Kentucky, the race for the U.S. Senate is heating up. Senator Rand Paul and Lexington Mayor Jim Gray running for the Senate spot on the ballot this November. The two went head-to-head for the first time at the annual Fancy Farm picnic in Graves County on Saturday. And Senator Paul's campaign announced he will be holding town halls this week. He'll be in Glasgow, Somerset, London, and Florence. He'll be in Somerset and London tomorrow. We checked on Gray's campaign schedule this morning. So far, he has no listed public appearances.
People in Hardin County gathered together to honor a fallen firefighter. Jonathan French died 2 years ago. A semi hit the fire engine he was working out of. At the time, his crew was fighting a car fire on Interstate 65. This weekend, the city of Glendale renamed a stretch of road outside a volunteer fire station in his honor. The memorial sign stands at the intersection of New Glendale Road and Kentucky 222.
We never know from one day to the next how it's going to be. I mean, it's just the blink of an eye. It could be really emotional, and then the next blink of an eye, everybody be laughing and cutting up and having a good time.
Glendale Fire Chief Richard Peters called the sign a living memorial to French's family. 5 of the 23 volunteers in the department are related to French. His mother, who was injured in the same crash, still serves as a volunteer.
The time is 5:40 now on WKYT this morning. The Lexington Police Department is asking for your opinion. Tonight, assessors with the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies will be speaking with Lexington residents to gauge their perceptions of the city's police force. The meeting is at 6 o'clock tonight in the Urban County Council Chamber. That is at 200 East Main Street, the Government Center.
A temporary water feature in downtown Lexington will stay open for a few more weeks. Splash Jam was scheduled to close this Wednesday, which is also the first day of classes for students in Fayette County. But the park posted on Facebook that they will close now on September 5th, so staying open a little bit longer. The park is in Lexington's northeastern park. It's open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. Those hours, however, could be changing when school starts.
A traffic alert for drivers this morning. You can expect some delays starting Sunday on Nicholsville Road in Lexington. Crews will be rewiring traffic signals at the Man o' War Boulevard intersection. That will be on this Sunday, August 14th. The work is set to start at 7 a.m., should be completed by around 3. Traffic lights will be off while crews work them. Lexington Police will be directing traffic during that outage. The work is supposed to help ease traffic congestion around the new Summit development, so keep that in mind.
After all the heavy rain, the Valley View Ferry that runs in Fayette, Jessamine, and Madison counties is shut down. The city of Lexington decided to close it temporarily because of the high water conditions. They do not know when it will reopen, or at least have not told us when that will happen. So
yeah, I'm having some issues certainly with the sudden rains of this summer that have been such a problem. Time this morning is 5:42, and let's check live drive traffic this morning, see what is going on out there. Here's a quick look at the region, and you can see it looks good on the interstates. No reports of any problems. Things back to normal on I-64 after those fatalities in Montgomery County yesterday afternoon. We will call your attention to the fact that 3rd Street in Nicholasville is closed this morning. There's been an accident there that brought down a utility pole, and crews we're now being told crews have repaired that and have just been able to reopen 3rd Street in Nicholasville. So that's a good deal.
Yeah.
There's a closer look in. As you can see, everything looks good.
And here's a look at the Lexington Fayette Everett County Government's live drive cam. This one at Broadway and Red Mile, showing folks just stopping there for a red light, and things moving along just fine.
A few of the early birds on the move out
Yeah.
there. Good to have you along Monday morning on WKYT. As you come to life, get ready to go here on this brand new week.
Yeah, we are, right? Flower blooming in Colorado, raising quite a stink. We'll have more on this beautiful flower, isn't it? That just does not smell very beautiful. Actually, like rotting flesh when we come back.
Yeah. And we're looking at that low pressure system just to the south of us, sliding our direction. That's going to bring a lot of moisture into our forecast. I'm going to show you when you can expect all that rain. That's coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We're in the 60s and 70s early this morning. If the kids are heading back to school to kick off the school year, it is a really nice start to the school year. I promise you that. They're walking out to the bus stop, and I'm not seeing any problems whatsoever. 66 degrees right now in Lexington. It's 64 in Frankfort. That's a nice feel. And not only that, but that dew point, the humidity is way down. So there's some good news for us. We do have a couple of showers back toward Pike County and Martin County at this moment. And that goes off into Floyd as well. Those are heading toward the northeast. And that's from a system that's going to be rolling on through. It's actually moving northbound, coming in from the Gulf of Mexico down south of us. And that'll push that moisture northbound too. And there's a lot of rain. Check this out, 15 to 20 inches of rain for the panhandle of Florida and some portions of southern Florida too, the southern peninsula, throughout the week. 15 to 20 inches of rain. Now, we won't see that, I promise you that. That's guaranteed. However, a couple of inches are possible as we head off towards your Friday and into your Saturday. There is a chance of rain for the southeast today, but it's not a great chance for everybody else. So most of us stay dry today, but southeastern zones, heads up. A couple of showers are expected, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that period right there is going to be a pretty wet period because we'll have that system traveling northbound. It'll be pretty much right over us, and it kind of stays there. It doesn't really go farther north. So Tuesday through the weekend, you'll have daily threats at rain chances. Now, you'll be about 40 to 60% each and every single day. There's a good chance of rain each day with that forecast. Now, we get into that flash flooding concern again once you continue to get one thunderstorm after another each and every single day. So that's going to be our main threat as we travel throughout your weekend, is really that flash flood threat. How much rain are we expecting? Well, overall, the big picture is 1 to 2 inches of rain, some of us near 3 inches, but you know as well as I do that if you get one storm after another, then you can bump it up to 4 to 5 inches, sometimes in one day. So it really depends on if you see one storm after another. It really depends on where that rain axis sets up. But still, 1 to 2 inches for most, some right there around 3 to 4 inches once it's all said and done. So today is your smallest chance of rain. I would take advantage of it. If you weren't able to do your yards, knock them out today, because once we hit Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, well, there's a pretty decent shot at actually seeing some rumbles of thunder slide on through. And it's not just during the afternoons. When you have a front over you, you get those chances of rain during the morning hours too. That's something to watch out for. The good news here is long term, you get past Sunday off into Monday, then you're talking about nothing going on back west of us. And that's fantastic news. We need to dry out. It's not going to happen this work.
A little while to wait, isn't it?
It's a long ways away. That's right.
All right, but not a bad week.
That's all right.
Probably need some of that rain, I guess. 5:49 is our time this morning. Update for you on a stinky surprise that is greeting visitors at the Denver Botanic Gardens.
Botanists there call this flower the little stinker. When it first emerged, it was just a small bud and they weren't sure it would survive. But the odoriferous corpse flower is alive, well, and very smelly. Not everyone agrees on what the flower smells like. Some describe it as rotting fruit, while others say it reminds them of decaying bodies. Lovely. And while visitors to the gardens are plugging their noses, botanists are scratching their heads. Turns out several corpse flowers are blooming at the same time in gardens across the country, which is pretty rare, as the corpse flowers only bloom every 3 to 10 years. Go figure.
All right, so something strange is going on.
Can see why you wouldn't want them all blooming at the same time.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That guy's just kind of taking
Looks lovely,
a
doesn't
good whiff of it there.
Yeah, he's not too worried.
Yeah, others are kind of holding their noses. All right, good to have you along Monday morning on WKYT.
Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
Yeah, we'll also update you on traffic this morning and see how things are moving along. We have health news and a lot more. It's sure good to have you with us here on this Monday on WKYT. Hey, good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT This Morning is on the air on your Monday. Glad you're with us. Hope you had a good weekend. Ready to go now.
A new week, brand new week is off and rolling. Let's get a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
Very busy in our newsroom. We want to keep you updated on breaking news. Delta Airlines saying on Twitter that they're having a major computer outage and flights are waiting to take off. They've been delayed worldwide. Delta also said via Twitter this morning that customers should check the status of their flight before even heading out to the airport this morning. We'll take a look at how the outage is impacting Bluegrass Airport in a live report coming up at the top of the hour on WKYT This Morning.
This morning, we're working to get an update on a little boy who fell into a pond at the Lexington Cemetery. Investigators think the boy and 2 other kids were fishing when the accident happened. The boy was in the pond for 30 minutes before he was pulled from the water. When we called the coroner's office for more information about the case, we were told they would release more information later today. Well, topping your national headlines this morning, a popular water park in Kansas City is closed this morning after the death of a little boy. Investigators are trying to piece together what led to a tragic accident on the park's main attraction. Caleb Schwab was killed on the water slide at Slitterbahn Water Park yesterday afternoon. That slide features a 168-foot plunge at 65 miles per hour. The child, by the way, was the son of Scott Schwab, who is a Kansas state lawmaker. Donald Trump is set to deliver a major economic speech in Michigan today. Over the weekend, the Republican nominee repeatedly questioned Hillary Clinton's mental health after she said she short-circuited her response to questions about the FBI's investigation into her email scandal. Clinton, who leads Trump in several national polls, will offer up her own vision for the economy in Detroit Thursday. Clinton's use of a private email server resurfaced yesterday following news that Iran executed a nuclear scientist for spying for the U.S. At least one email sent to the Democratic nominee in 2010 when she was U.S. Secretary of State appears to mention the scientist. Iranian officials hanged him yesterday for allegedly giving information to the CIA about Tehran's nuclear program. And now on to your today's top health stories.
A new study is suggesting that high school and middle school students are drawn to e-cigarettes by curiosity, the flavors, and friends who are using them. Researchers at Yale, the School of Medicine there, found 80% of teens who said they tried e-cigarettes to quit real smoking cigarettes stop that as they then continued to smoke tobacco.
Let's get a check right now on today's traffic trouble spots with a look at live drive traffic. See how things are moving on this Monday.
Right, and we do know that there was a situation over in Nicholasville that is now cleared up. They had a utility pole down there on 3rd Street. You're good to go there now. Here is a look at the region, and the times driving into Lexington are about normal. No reports of any problems. The Lexington Fayette Urban County Government, a live drive camera now at Newtown Pike and I-75.
Yeah, a little quiet out there this morning, but, you know, hey, traffic picking up right as I said that. So
well,
scratch that quiet
and it will
part.
be. And in a few days, school buses out there as well, so everybody keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah, big yellow bus.
Hope you'll stay with us now. Let's check weather before we head into the 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah, it's a really nice start to the day. We get into the afternoon, small chance of rain. I'm going to show you where I expect that and also the daily threat at rain. Coming up with another hour of WKYT News.